Well, Joe, another road trip this weekend, this time to Gillingham. How have preparations gone in advance of this one?
Yeah, gone really well for us. At the latter end of the season now, so we played a lot of games. I think potentially it's our 25th game in all competitions. So got players that have played a lot of football so far this season. So we have amended our schedule slightly over the last few weeks to try and cater for that and manage loading a little bit better. And yeah, the response has been pretty good when we have had the group in together and we've trained really well. I think we're well prepared for Sunday. We're looking forward to it.
We managed to carry on our excellent form last weekend, but with all due respect to Crawley, I think this weekend's going to be that little bit tougher, isn't it?
I wouldn't say so. I think we were well prepared for Crawley. It was an important game for them to try and stay in the division, and they're a really spirited team that weren't going to lie down easily. So yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say this weekend will be any more difficult. It's a different type of opposition, a different position in the league. So yeah, we will obviously acknowledge the difference, but prepare just the same and try and do as well as we can.
Over this run of six successive victories, other than the obvious, of course, what would you say has pleased you the most about the form?
I think the appetite for us to keep going. We've provided ourselves with a good position. What I mean by that is we've recognised the situation we're in, and a group have managed to be relentless in sticking around in the race for the top spot. So that's been really pleasing. But I think the team, they've represented themselves, and I think we've seen a real maturity and togetherness at really key moments. We thought it was a really poignant moment at half time in our last game against Crawley, and yeah, just the conviction and say the application attitude to keep going, keep the run going and stick around in the top of the pack.
Squad wise, Lucy Egan got some minutes for the academy in midweek, and Maddie Biggs has been back out on the training pitch. Are they both edging closer to a return?
I think they've still got a little bit to do. See, Lucy's been out for such a long time because of the suspension, so it's treading really carefully with her, and maybe rushed her a little bit too soon previously, really keen to get her back, and it then added a little niggle to her. So yeah, we've got to be a bit more careful with her. And same for Maddie really. I think sometimes the services we train on and play on don't help her back issue. So she's not quite ready yet, but yeah, it's really great to see them back and taking fully part in our sessions.
And like ourselves, Gillingham are in pretty good form at the moment. What are your initial thoughts heading into this weekend's game?
I think there's probably a really good feeling amongst the group. I think they've had a few changes, both managerially and obviously with their squad. I think they have a new venue that they play at. So I think there's a real good feeling there, and they've picked up some really positive results. So yeah, they'll be in good form. Be a team that are confident and ready to go head to head with us. But we're looking forward to that challenge.
Rewinding then back to August and a really disappointing afternoon for us against them last time out. Do you think that'll be at the back of the players' minds this weekend?
Possibly. It's not in mine. I think we're at a different stage of the season. I'm not overly a big believer on that revenge type. I think it's games happen, results happen, and you move on from it and you try and prepare and perform as best as you can. So I don't see it like that. Obviously, it was disappointing to come away with a defeat that day. But yeah, it'd be a totally different game of football, I think, going into this weekend. So yeah, I won't be too mindful of that previous result because I think it's a different team now under different leadership. So yeah, it'd be foolishness for us to kind of prepare for that same team that we face, because I think it'll look a lot different.
And finally, I know you're not one to look too far ahead, but we all know which game follows this one on Sunday. How much good could a positive result do against Gillingham this weekend, heading into that Oxford game next week?
I think we need a positive result regardless of whoever we're playing next week. So I don't think we're a team that needs to win to take confidence in that game, to take confidence into that game. I think we need to win because of where we're at in the stage of the season and making sure we stick around in the top spots.